Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm excited to be joined by my team of four consisting of Panchami, Vandana, Grishma and myself. Today we are here with the topic from research methodology, that is copyright infringement. Content in this video is owned by some creator. This means that the author has the exclusive right to reproduce, distribute, and display the work, as well as create derivative works. Using someone else's copyrighted material without permission is considered copyright infringement. This can lead to serious consequences, including legal action and fines. We ask that you respect the author's rights and intellectual property by not sharing or using the content without permission. Evolution of copyright laws. In 1710, a big milestone was reached in protecting creative work. The Statute of Anne was passed in England, which gave authors exclusive rights over their work for a certain period. This was the game changer, as it recognized the value of creative work and gave authors control over how their work was used. Fast forward to 1790, the United States got on board with protecting creative work. They passed their first federal copyright law, which was modeled after the Statute of Anne. This law gave authors exclusive rights over their work for 14 years with the option to renew for another 14 years. By 1831, the United States realized that 14 years wasn't enough time for authors to reap the benefits of their work, so they extended the term of copyright protection to 28 years, with the option to renew for another 14 years. This law was also expanded the types of creative work that were protected, including music and other artistic works. Copyright protection gives creators control over their work. Here's what that means. Scope of protection. Copyright protects original literary, dramatic, musical, and artistic works. This includes books, music, movies, software, and even website content. Exclusive author rights. The creator of the work has exclusive rights to reproduce the work, distribute copies of the work, create derivative works, display or perform the work publicly. Duration of copyright. Copyright protection typically lasts for creator's lifetime plus a certain number of years. After that, the work enters the public domain. Public domain transition. When the copyright expires, the work enters the public domain. This means that anyone can use, reproduce, and distribute the work without needing permission or paying royalties. There are several types of copyrights, each with its own set of rights. First one is exclusive rights. Exclusive rights give the copyright owner control over how their work is used. These rights include reproducing the work, distributing copies of the work, creating derivative works, displaying or performing the work publicly. Second one is moral rights. Moral rights protect the personal and reputational interest of the creator. These rights include the right to be credited as the author, the right to object to distortions or modifications that harm your reputation, the right to withdraw your work from circulation. The third one is ownership of copyright. Ownership of copyright refers to who has the exclusive rights to the work. This can be the creator of the work, the employer of the creator, the third party who has acquired the rights. These are the basics of copyright types and their corresponding rights. Over to Grishma.
The next topic is copyright registration, understanding the advantages of registering your copyright. In this, there are three types: public notice of ownership, legal resource for infringement, simplified proof of ownership. Public notice of ownership. Registering your copyright service has a public notice establishing your ownership and preventing unauthorized use by others. Legal resource of infringement. With registration, authors can use for infringement seeking saturated damages that can be signified higher than actual damages. Simplified proof of ownership. Registered copyright simplifies the process of proving ownership in legal district, making a sure of enforces your right. Understanding the fair uses. Key factors of example. In this, there are 6 types. Definition of fair use, purpose of characteristics of use, nature of the copyright work, amount of sustainability, market effect, examples of fair uses. Definition of fair use. Fair use is a legal doctrine allowing limited use of copyright material without permission, amend balancing author rights with public interest. Purpose of characteristics of use. The intent behind the use is crucial. Education and non-commercial users are more likely to be considered fair than commercial uses. Nature of copyright work. The type of work used matters factor. Works are more likely to be fair use compared to creative works like novels or films. Amount of sustainability. Using a smaller portion of a work is more likely to qualify as a failure use. However, the significance of the portion used also plays a role. Market effect. If the use negatively impacts the market of the original work, it is less likely to be considered fair use. Example of fair use. Common case includes news reporting, teachings, and research, etc. Common copyright infringements. Common copyright infringements, understanding the common infringements occurs when someone uses a copyright work without authorization, violating the rights of the creator. Reproduction. This involves copyright for reproducing a work such as book or articles without permission from the copyright holder. Distribution. Sharing and distributing copies of a work without authorization is a common form of infringement, including the unauthorized downloads. Public performances. Performing a copyrighted work publicly without permission, like playing music and event, constitution infringement. Example of infringement. Common examples includes unauthorized music downloads, uninclusion uses images, and unauthorized reproduction of books. Legal consequences. Infringement can lead to a legal consequences and penalties. Legal penalties. Infringers may face lawsuits from copyright holders, which can lead to serious legal actions such as injunctions and significant costs imposed damages, and can financially cripple individual and businesses. Financial implications. Infringement can result in heavy fines and liability for damages caused to copyright holders and significant losses of revenue through necessary several impacting infringement financial stability. Impact authors. Copyright infringement undermines the author's ability to effectively monetize their works, leading to a protein loss and income, and can create long-lasting determination affect their career's overall livelihood. These are the consequences of copyright infringements.
The next topic is case study. Famous copyright infringement cases. Key legal precedents and their implications. Led Zeppelin, accused of plagiarizing Stairway to Heaven from Spirit's Taurus, the court ruled in favor of Led Zeppelin, emphasizing fair use principles which protect creative expression. Robin Thicke, found liable for infringing Marvin Gaye's Got to Give It Up with blurred lines. This case resulted in a substantial financial penalty demonstrating the serious implications of copyright infringement. Impact on copyright law. These cases have significantly shaped public understanding of copyright law, establishing important legal precedents that influence future disputes and the interpretation of fair use. Defense against copyright infringement claims. Fair use. This defense allows for limited use of copyrighted material without permission, provided it meets certain criteria such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. Public domain. Works that are no longer under copyright protection can be freely. This includes work for which the copyright has expired or never existed. License or permission. If the accused party can prove that they obtained permission or license to use the copyrighted work, they may avoid infringement claims. Burden of proof. In copyright infringement cases, the burden of proof lies with the party claiming infringements. Thus, this plays a vital role for authors to keep accurate documents their rights and permissions. So the next topic is international copyright laws. Importance of copyright laws. Copyright laws are crucial for protecting creative works and ensuring that the authors can control the use of their intellectual property across the different jurisdictions. Berne Convention established minimum copyright protection standards among the member countries, ensuring the author's works are respected internationally. TRIPS Agreement set of international standards for intellectual property rights, requiring member countries to provide adequate protection for copyrights. Navigating national laws. Understanding these treaties is essential for authors to navigate the complexities of national laws and enforcement practices. Global protection. These agreements help authors protect their work globally, allowing them to share their creativity without fear of infringement. So the next topic is challenges in copyright enforcement. The first one is rise of digital media. The increasing prevalence of digital media has transformed how content is created and consumed, leading to significant challenges in the copyright enforcement. The second is streaming services. Services like Netflix, Hulu face growing copyright concerns, particularly regarding unauthorized streaming and downloading of content, which threatens creators' rights. The third one is user-generated content. Platforms such as YouTube encounter difficulty in moderating copyright claims from users, making it challenging to balance content sharing and copyright protection. The last one is Digital Millennium Copyright Act. The DMCA provides a framework for addressing online copyright infringement, allowing the holder to issue takedown and notices to protect their intellectual property.
So the next topic is protecting your creative work, that is best practices for authors or proactive steps to safeguard your work. The first point here is to register copyrights, that is to ensure that all original works are registered with the appropriate authorities to establish ownership and protect your rights. The second point is use contracts. Clearly outline rights and permissions in agreements with publishers, collaborators, and distributors to avoid misunderstandings and disputes. The third point here is educate themselves. Stay informed about copyright laws and changes that may affect their work, enabling authors to adapt and protect their interests effectively. So, the next slide is copyright challenges. Emerging trends in copyright law or the key trends influencing copyright legislation. The first point here is AI generated content, that is, the rise of AI questions about copyright eligibility for works created by machines and the ownership rights of such content. The second point is social media sharing, that is, in the platforms like Instagram and TikTok complicate copyright enforcement, especially regarding the sharing and reposting of user generated content. And the third point is need for adaptation. Continual challenges in technology necessitate ongoing updates to copyright law to balance protection for creators and encourage innovation. The next slide is about copyright resources or the resources for authors or essential tools for navigating copyright issues. The first point here is the organizations, that is, authors can turn to reputable organizations
like the American Copyright Office and Creative Commons for guidance on copyright matters. Then the second point is website. Valuable information is available on websites such as copyright.government, that is GOV, which outlines copyright laws and best practices. The third point is legal advice. For tailored support, authors should consult an intellectual property attorney to navigate specific copyright concerns effectively. So the last topic is copyright essential. Key takeaways on copyright for authors or understanding copyrights and infringement. There are 5 points in this. So the first point is importance of copyright registration. Registering copyright is vital for authors to protect their rights and establish legal ownership of their creative works, which is crucial in the case of disputes. So the second point is understanding fair use. Authors must be aware of the fair use doctrine, which allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission, as well as common infringement scenarios to avoid legal issues. So the third point is ongoing education on copyright law. With the digital landscape constantly evolving, authors need to stay updated on emerging trends and changes in copyright law to adapt their practices effectively. The fourth point is prioritizing copyright protection. By prioritizing copyright protection, authors can ensure their creative works and where their creative works are respected, valued, and not exploited without their consent. The last point, that is the fifth point, is understanding fair use. Authors must be aware of the fair use doctrine, which allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission, as well as common infringement scenarios to avoid legal issues. So this is our topic and this comes to an end. Thank you all.